All right, just got out of the shower. I thought I'd just do a little strange happening. I hadn't done one in a while. Sitting here naked, my normal self, like I like to be most of the time, especially out in the woods. Naked in nature, that's me. And the reason is the new technique at the stage I am with my mentor Phil is it has to do with absorbing sunlight and yeah, you see me down at the river in some videos on my four-wheeler like this, naked, sitting out under the full sun. Yeah. So when I'm doing this particular technique, this is what I'm wearing. Anyway, uh, yeah, I'm gonna be that crazy old guy in a nursing home one day. The crazy old man running in a wheelchair down the hall naked. That's gonna be me, and the attendees gonna be chasing him. That's gonna be me. Poor people. Well, lucky if I get there. We'll see. Anyway, the technique, absorbing sunlight, the thing I was going to bring up, and the reason I'm doing the video kind of, is I'm really liking this technique a lot. A whole lot. A whole lot. And I relate to it a lot. Absorbing sunlight kind of thing. Almost like filling yourself up like a battery. Absorbing enough like a battery. You can feel it when you get full kind of thing. The funny thing is I've done this through my life, kind of. Well, not through my whole life, but through college. Um, I would do this, especially like after a hangover. If I've been drinking, I would go out in the sunlight and absorb stuff. Um, I'll give you an example. Uh, uh, God, what strange happening is that one? I'll have to put a link down below, but it's the after depression number one of two. I talked about how reality responds, whatever that one is. I'll put a link below. Reality responding, and I give an example at the very end of a group that was around me and saw reality respond from what the rain stop outside of Texas Renaissance Fair. Well, that was the like the last day we were there. I think that was the last day or second to last day. Maybe we were there 3 days, like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because when we would go down there, it would be for a full weekend, a weekend pass for the whole time. Now, I believe this was the same exact weekend, but the day before that all that rain came in, the day before, and some sunshine, and that particular group, Brian and Yvonne, man, they can drink, and tequila's one of their favorites, and high quality tequila, and they like to drink. And I had a hangover there at the Texas Renaissance Festival. And at one point, I sat down. I was like, I got to sit down, hangover. My body doesn't react well to alcohol, especially the next day. So it's like, I got to sit down. I got to absorb some sunlight. Let me just sit here and absorb some sunlight. And they were like, I think it was, I don't know if it's Brian or Vaughn, which one said it, but it's like, what, like a battery? I'm like, yes, like a battery. It's almost like I can see it in my eyes. My eyes, you close your eyes and look up at the sun. And you can see that red, I guess the blood cells and everything coming through the eyes, and it's kind of red. And after a while, it goes completely white. And it's like, well, I'm full then when it goes white. So it's like that's my indicator of I'm full of sunlight, kind of thing. So I'd sit there and let myself absorb all the sunlight, and then hangover's gone, just gone, and able to continue on throughout the rest of the day. And so they were there for that in front of me. The same people were there for that part too the day before. I think it was the day before. God, that was so many years ago, decades or two ago, so many years ago. But this technique does the same thing. It's all about absorbing sunlight and let it go into you and really become part of you, absorbing it um, straight from the sun, kind of thing. It's like I get this one big time. I really like this one. I've done this, but not particularly with the imaging. This is a different type of energy imaging to go with it. So the imaging is new because I didn't know anything about any kind of all of this. I just do this stuff. I have done this stuff, and now I'm finding out that this is part of this new technique. It's like anchoring the eighth. Is it the eighth dimensional monad or something like that? I'm not sure, something like that. You can tell. You can tell. This is all new to me. The wording is all new to me. Some of the imaging is new to me, but the actual technique is stuff I've done and have been doing, even down at the river. You see my videos. I'm sitting there on the four wheeler, naked under the full sun. And sometimes I comment, this is one of the best memories ever, kind of thing, and absorbing sunlight. And I'm like that down there a lot when I'm by myself, naked in nature, in the woods, absorbing sunlight. And that's part of this technique. It doesn't say without clothes or anything, but that's what I'm doing because that's my normal self. Yeah. Oh well. Oh God, that made me think too. Oh dear. Oh dear. One of the past videos, I said I was getting this impression of that's enough, it's done. Those 4 words, I believe that's what it was. That's enough, it's done. And I said, at the end of that video, I'm like, maybe that means I'm going to die or something. Maybe me and my wife should go get our burial stuff all together. I don't know what that means. We did do that. Actually, we did do that. We went the next day to the funeral home and got all of our burial plans and everything. So I put the rest of that on the credit card, poured a little credit card, and for both of us. So both of our funerals are taken care of and paid for. And we're not going with traditional. It'll be cremation. It's cheaper. Honestly, that's the main reason. It's much, much, much cheaper. 3 or 4 times cheaper. About 4 times cheaper. So that's why we're doing that. I've already got the video that I made here that I put out on this website. I'll put a link to that one below too, since I'm doing links. I'll put a link to that video that's going to be played. I've already put it out here. It's going to be played at my funeral. So I've already got it on a flash drive in an envelope with the rest of the documents. We each have our own separate envelopes. Tara's envelope, my envelope. And in my envelope, I also have instructions for the video on the flash drive. And I also downloaded 50 photographs for a slideshow that's continually running kind of in the background. So instead of having a preacher or anything like that at my funeral or somebody else speak, I'm going to speak, why not? I'll be the one talking. Then everybody can just get on with their lives. So for like 10, 15 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, and then it's done and they can go away. People, go away, live your life. So, but in the 50 photos, I'm like, oh dear. I put one of my favorite photos in there and dressed like this in nothing, and it's full frontal. Yeah, because going out the Pink House one night, we had a wildlife camera out there, and I don't remember why, but I think it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, somewhere around there, 3 or 4 in the morning, and walked out the back door. I got up for some reason and walked out back, just wearing nothing, just walked out back, and there's nothing out there, just stars and stuff. And I walked out back, but walking out back, the wildlife camera took a photo. And I check photos sometimes for deers, and I saw that on there and I just laughed. I'm like, that's actually, there's only 2 pictures that I've ever taken that I like. One was when I was a baby, like 1 year old, maybe 1 year old or less than 1 year old, a baby. And this one, when I turned 50. So I'm 50 years old in this one. And so I put it in there. I was like, that is actually one of my favorite photos. I only have 2 favorites, and that's one of them. So I put it in there. Those poor people. The funeral home doesn't review those photos beforehand and they're flashing that slideshow. I'm like, well, what are they going to do? Arrest me? Woo. So, maybe the funeral home will review those photos beforehand. I don't know. If they don't, yeah, that'll probably be some, I don't know. There's going to be some laughing going on. I don't know. Offended people, who knows? But that'll be funny. You know what else I noticed? Getting all those photos together for the funeral home, what else I noticed? It's my eye color. My eyes as a little kid, pre-teenager, my eyes were solid brown. Just brown. Solid brown. And now they're hazel. So green with some brown in the middle. So I guess some people's eyes do that. I don't know when mine changed. I have no idea because I don't pay attention. But I guess some people's eyes change colors a little bit over the years. Mine sure did.